Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is a new week and a new episode.
Yes, Queen. This is our last episode into the big Halloween episode. And I am excited. I'm excited that Halloween is on a Friday because I feel like when it's on a Friday, you can do so much more. Like my daughter, she's going to be tired. I already know she's going to sleep so good that night.
I'm going to be tired.
She has a Halloween party at school. She going to trick-or-treating, and then she's going to another Halloween party. She's going to be lit out for candy. Then it's the night I'm going to just give her candy, a lot of candy, because I want her to stay up a little bit longer.
And we can get litty without having to go to work the next day.
Right. So it's like, it's a win-win situation. And the party is like 4 minutes from my house. Our daughter, her costume came in. It was like big, but we're like, look, we're just going to fix this up for her and call it a day. I cannot wait for you guys to see our costumes. I'm excited. My wife, she has 2 costumes. I don't know if you want to tell them, not our couple costume, but like your other one.
So at work, my work family, we are doing Powerpuff Girls. Mm-hmm. I did not want to dress up as a Powerpuff Girl. There's 3 in my team, including me. So I convinced somebody else to dress up as the 3rd Powerpuff Girl, and then I'm going as Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo.
In Spanish, it's Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo. And I'm not dressing up with nobody else because I work from home, so... And my daughter, she's leaving me for school, so I can't even do something with her. But, I mean...
Just wave at the neighbors. Be Michael Myers and just kind of...
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Kids.
And I watched a good documentary, and I feel like it's all over TikTok. The Perfect Neighbor.
Which is weird because you did not like documentaries.
I do not like documentaries at all. We all know that.
Your age is showing.
Really is. But that one made me cry. I don't really cry with shows. You can ask my wife. But I was crying my eyes out. But then I had a daughter that kept coming to me. Ma, open. I'm like, girl, don't you see me crying? Like, let me cry in peace. I'm over crying because this lady lost her life. And it's a good documentary. I give it a 10-10. I might do a little something on the podcast for it. Well, not a podcast. I might talk about it on my True Crime 1 Minute. But... AJ, may you please rest in peace.
Yes.
And Susan, catch you outside. This case right here is actually a case suggestion, and we are shouting out Unexplained Realms. And they're a podcast. I will have their information in the description below, so please go check them out. If you into spooky podcasts, they are your people. Now let's get into the episode. It began like any ordinary autumn morning in a small Michigan town, the kind where the trees turn to fire and gold, and the wind carried the promise of winter. The school day had started, hallways echoing with laughter and the rhythm of teenage chatter. But by afternoon, a strange hush began to ripple through the community, whispers spreading from locker to locker, house to house. 2 girls, gone. They were last seen walking side by side, their laughter blending with the crunch of falling leaves beneath their feet. No one knew where they were going or why. Some said they had planned to skip class, maybe go to a nearby Halloween event. Others thought they were running away. But as the hours stretched into days and days into years, those simple theories fell apart. There were no clues, no witnesses, no sign of struggle, just an empty road, a missing piece of time, and the aching questions that will haunt a town for decades. What happened to them that October afternoon? Before anyone could understand the warmth of a fallen fade, and two families were left with only silence, fear, and fading photographs of girls who never made it home. This is the case of Pamela Sue Hobley and Patricia Ann Spencer. Halloween morning 1969. The town of Michigan awoke under a pale autumn sun that filtered weakly through the clouds, glittering off the water of Lake Huron. Leaves whispered across the empty sidewalk, chasing one another in amber and gold. The air carried the particular chill of late October, sharp, electric, and full of restless excitement that comes before a night of mass laughter and secrets. For most, it was just another Halloween, but for two teenage girls, Pamela Sue Hobley and Patricia Ann Spencer, it would be their last day ever seen alive. Pamela Pam Hobley had just turned 15 that spring, born on May the 25th, 1954 in Florida. She was the oldest of four girls, Becky, Betty, and the youngest, Mary. Her father, Edwin, served in the U.S. Air Force, and the family moved often from base to base before finally settling in Michigan in 1963. By the time Pam reached high school, she was well-liked, outgoing, and desperate to fit in. She loved music, parties, and being part of the popular crowd. But beneath a confident smile was a teenager struggling to find her footing. Her parents' divorce in 1968 had hit her hard. Pam rebelled, skipping school, drifting from class to class, chasing the kind of excitement that could be briefly drown out the ache at home. Still, there were signs that things were changing. Pam had recently got engaged to her boyfriend, Jim. She began to talk about growing up, settling down, maybe even starting a new chapter. Her mom, Lois, saw a spark of maturity return to her daughter, a calm after a long storm. That Friday, October 31st, 1969, Pam was full of plans. She wanted to attend the high school homecoming football game and later a Halloween party where she would meet up with Jim. She begged her mother to let her go, and after much pleading, Lois finally gave in. That morning, Pam dressed with care. She wore a plaid skirt, a white intimate fur coat edged with brown, and high-heeled shoes with white socks. She was ready for the day and promised fun, freedom, and the kind of memory every teenager longed for. Patricia and Patty Spencer, meanwhile, was a different kind of girl, 16 years old, born on January 10, 1953. She was more reserved and dependable, the kind of student teachers trust and classmates describe as kind and thoughtful, with brownish blonde hair, blue eyes, and a quiet grace. Patty stood around 5'3" or 5'4" and weighed between 120 and 140 pounds. She had a scar on her leg, that reminder of a childhood dog attack, one of the few marks on a otherwise gentle life. Patty usually wore glasses, though she didn't have them on that day. Her outfit was neat and modest, a brown pullover sweater with a matching skirt, high heel shoes, and a gray-green plaid jacket. Around her neck hung a simple necklace with a peace sign, a small symbol of the world changing around her. Patty wasn't one to skip class, but on that Halloween morning, for reasons no one will ever fully understand, she and Pam crossed paths and made a fateful decision together. Though they weren't close friends, more like acquaintances who shared mutual circles, something that day drew them into the same orbit. At high school, students recall an unusual disturbance. Some say it was a fire drill. Others say it was rumors of a bomb threat that led to an early evacuation. Somewhere in that confusion, Pam and Patty were seen together in the school bathroom, whispering plans to leave. A third girl was meant to join them but changed her mind at the last second. She'd been caught skipping before and couldn't risk it again. It was a decision that would haunt her for the rest of her life. Pam and Patty slipped out sometime during the day. No one saw them leave the building. No one stopped them as they walked out the door and disappeared into the crisp October air. Later, a classmate will come forward claiming to have seen the two girls walking along River Road, a long tree-lined stretch that led toward downtown. Whether they was hitchhiking or simply walking home, no one could say for sure. But that sighting would become the last confirmed glimpse of either of them. As darkness fell, the world moved on. Children dressed as ghosts and witches roamed the streets with candy buckets. Porch-light blinked on one by one. Inside the Hobley home, Lois was getting uneasy. Pam hadn't come home to change for the party or the game, though she promised she would. When her daughters returned from trick-or-treating, Lois began calling around friends, neighbors, and even Jim. No one had seen her. Then she learned that Patty Spencer was also missing. At first, everyone assumed the two girls were together. As the hours scratched past midnight and neither returned, that assumption turned to fear.
When the sun rose over Oscada on November the 1st, 1969, the streets were quiet. Halloween decorations still clung to the windows, paper ghosts and skeletons fluttering in the wind. But beneath the festive remnants of the night before, a sense of unease began to take hold. Two girls, Pamela Sue Hobley and Patricia Ann Spencer, had not come home. At first, it didn't seem like a crisis. Teenagers stayed out late. Sometimes they crashed at a friend's house, lost track of time, or simply wanted to assert their independence. But by morning, when neither girl had returned, when no phone call came, no friend reported seeing them, the worry in both families began to twist into something darker. Lois Hobley was the first to call the Oscada Police Department. She was frantic. Her voice was shaking as she explained that her daughter, just 15, had vanished without a trace. The dispatcher's response was detached, almost casual. "They're probably just runaways, ma'am." The single phrase runaways would shape the entire investigation for years to come. In the late 1960s, police departments across small town America rarely treated missing teenagers as urgent cases, especially if they were girls. Authorities assumed rebellion or romance, not danger. And so the initial hours, the most crucial in any disappearance, slipped away unnoticed. When Lewis called every friend she could think of, Patty's family was doing the same. When they realized both girls were missing, it confirmed what everyone suspected. They must have left together, but why? Neither girl had packed a bag. Their purses, identification, and personal belongings remained at home. Patty had left behind her glasses, something she never went far without, and neither of them had taken any money. Still, the police clung to the runaway theory. One report claimed the girls might have hitchhiked out of town. Another suggested they were headed to Flint or Detroit to start fresh. But for those who knew them, their mothers, siblings, and friends, none of it made sense. They weren't girls planning an escape. They were girls planning a night out. a football game, a party, a date. In the early weeks, a man came forward claiming he'd given two girls a ride, matching Pam and Patty's descriptions. He said he dropped them off in downtown Oscada. That tip would remain one of the few concrete leads in a case filled with rumors and shadows. In 1985, another tip reignited hope. Someone alleged that two local men had killed the girls and buried them near an old barn where teenagers often gathered to drink and party. A search, decades later, aided by cadaver dogs, turned up nothing. No bones, no clothes, no trace. Still, the families refused to let the story fade. Pam's mother, Louise, couldn't bear to part with her daughter's memory. For years, she kept Christmas presents tucked away in the basement, waiting for the day Pam might come home to open them. Eventually, heartbreak forced her to give them away, her hope dimming but never truly dying. Mary, Pam's younger sister, grew up under the long shadow of that disappearance. She and her husband still traveled to Oscada every summer, retracing the steps her sister took that fateful day. Walking River Road, searching the forest, staring out at the cold expanse of Lake Huron. She says she can still feel Pam's presence there, like a whisper, just out of reach. And then there was Jim, Pam's fiance. He never stopped looking for her either. In later years, he gave Mary a ring, one that Pam had given him before she vanished, a small token of love and promise. It had once belonged to their father. Jim had kept it all those years, a silent memorial to the girl who never came home. As weeks turned into months, whispers began to circulate. Some said the girls had been seen in another town. Others claimed they had been spotted in a car heading south. But every lead led to another dead end. Then came the rumors, darker, crueler ones, that the girls had been picked up by someone they knew, that they had gone to a party that night and something went horribly wrong, that they had been taken into the dense woods outside of Oscada and never left. Today, more than 50 years later, the case remains unsolved, but not forgotten. A new cold case task force in Michigan has taken up the investigation, using modern forensic tools and digital databases. They've begun re-examining every piece of evidence, every lead, every name that was ever whispered. DNA testing, geological mapping, and new witnesses outreach efforts have breathed fresh air into the decades-old mystery. Detectives have confirmed that at least one or more suspects remain on their radar, individuals who have never been ruled out. For the families, that flicker of hope means everything. As one detective put it, someone in Oscada knows what happened that day. Someone's been carrying that secret for over half a century. And that's the cruelest part of this story, because Pam and Patty's disappearance didn't just take two young lives, it took peace from an entire town. To this day, locals still speak their names in hushed tones. They drive down River Road and wonder which stretch of dirt might hold their answers. Some swear they still see two figures in the distance, two teenagers walking side by side in the autumn twilight, heading towards a future that was stolen from them. More than 50 years have passed since Halloween 1969, and still the same question echoes. What happened to Pamela Sue Hobley and Patricia Ann Spencer? Were they taken by a stranger or by someone who knew them too well? Were their bodies hidden somewhere just beyond the town's edge, waiting to be found? Or have they simply become a part of Oscada's landscape, two ghosts of a night that never ended? Because in the end, their story isn't just about a mystery. It's about the ache of unanswered questions, the cruelty of time, and the power of hope that refuses to die. As Mary once said, her voice trembling but certain, they thought they were invincible walking down that road. Now they're invisible, but not forgotten. Before we end this case, let's take a moment to remember the two young girls who never came home, Patricia Ann Spencer, Patty to her family. Was just 16 years old, born on January 10th, 1953. She had a soft, brownish blonde hair, kind blue eyes, and a shy smile that could light up any room. She was thoughtful, quiet, and gentle, the kind of girl who dreamed of what life might bring after high school, but never got a chance to find out. And Pamela Sue Hobley, Pam, to those who loved her, was only 15. Born on May 24th, 1954, she was bright, full of life, and unafraid to stand out. Her laughter was contagious, her energy magnetic. She loved fashion, friends, and the freedom of being young. All the small things that should have been hers to keep. They were last seen walking together one crisp October afternoon, two friends side by side, never knowing it would be their final journey. For over 5 decades, their families have carried the same unbearable question. What happened to Patty and Pam? Every year, new theories surface, new searches begin, but the truth remains buried, somewhere out there waiting to be found. So tonight, as we leave their story, let's not let the silence win. Let's remember their faces, their laughter, and the bond that tied them together that fall afternoon in 1969. Let's remember their faces, their laughter, and the bond that tied them together that fall afternoon in 1969. Because every missing girl deserves to be found. And somewhere beneath the weight of time and memory, Patricia Ann Spencer and Pamela Sue Hobley are still waiting for someone to bring them home. This is the case of Pamela Sue Hobley and Patricia Ann Spencer. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories.
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Researching through your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
I have so many theories, and I feel like you guys gonna be like, Sierra, like, what the hell? But this story right here, you have to think outside the box, because the police, they didn't do nothing. They labeled them as a runaway. So somebody like me who have nothing to go on, just like the story being told, I gotta think of theories, and I have to think of like, okay, could this happen? Could this happen? So guys, bear with me. I know you were like, I don't believe in that, but just bear with me. Their friendship, they really didn't know each other. So they just hang out in the bathroom like, hey, like, forget this. Let's skip school. For one girl, she really didn't do this. For another girl, she did this all the time. So I feel like what changed her mind to skip school that day? For her not to do it, because I was a kid, I didn't do senior skip day because I was nervous. I didn't want to miss. I was a little nerd, okay? I'm gonna be a little nerd. I was a little nerd. But for somebody to convince me, it would take a lot. Or I'm just not having a good day. I'm like, you know what? I need a mental day. Let's skip school together. And when they said they went walking, like they left the school walking. And I'm thinking about what they wearing. High heels, walking. Baby, you tired out of a good like minute, okay? They was on a river road just walking to downtown. They hitchhike. You can't tell me otherwise that they didn't hitchhike, because 2 teenage girls on high heels. Even an adult is going to struggle with that walk with high heels. Even though you can wear high heels all your life, your feet are going to start burning sooner or later. So let me tell you my couple theories I have. I was like, what if they was like secret friends or secret lovers? I know, guys, I've been watching a lot of GL series. Don't judge me. They were secret lovers. Jim find out He unalived them. That was one of my theories, right? Because I had a lot to go on. They hitchhiking, and the man who said that they picked them up, everybody say he was clear, but I don't give a care if somebody's clear or not. I'm still looking at them kind of weird. Like, okay, you see two teenage girls hitchhiking, you gave them a ride, you tell me, and everybody know this is a small town, so it had to get out that these girls went missing like a day or two later. Why did it take you so long to go to the police and say, hey, yeah, I gave them a ride? For some reason, every time I hear this story, I think of the road that was on. I feel like, no offense or nothing, I don't know how long this road is. I feel like they should block that road off for a long time and just search that road. To me, I feel like those two girls never made it off that road. Something happened on that road. And then they said two local men might have done it. That's another possibility. I mean, I'm thinking about that one too. I just feel like they was hitchhiking. They got a ride. It wasn't a good ride. And something happened to them on that road. They never made it off that road. I mean, I know my lesbian ones was crazy, guys, but I mean, that was me thinking right now, okay? Don't judge me. My main theory is something happened on that road. They was hitchhiking. Somebody probably pulled a weapon on them, and as teenage girls, they were stuck. They froze. He did unthinkable things to them, unalive them, and probably buried their body somewhere on that road. For some reason, guys, that road is calling my name like, hey, this is where it happened. This is where they bought it. If they can block out that long, I don't know how many miles it is. I don't. But if they can block out that road, really do a good search of that road, they probably will find a high heel or something. What do you think?
So this is giving me Jeffrey Epstein vibes. I think Pam convinced Patty to go, right? And to me, money talks. So maybe she felt like she needed to fit in or buy certain things. So I think Pam knew people outside because she was very rebellious. And maybe she was wanting to meet with somebody. Like the Epstein files, like, you know how he would pay girls to recruit more girls?
Oh, that's where you're going with it. Okay.
That's where I'm going with it. So, because she was good. Like, Patty was good. She made good grades. And at the end of the day, when you're young like that, like easy money, you see that as an opportunity, but you don't think about all of the consequences that might come with it. Unfortunately, that was the end for the both of them. And I think that people knew that. Like, the suspects, the perpetrators, they knew that. They knew that if two girls went missing, they were just going to consider it as a runaway. Even now, like, women are still fighting for their rights.
Speak.
Unfortunately, some people don't see their worth, and they just want to exploit them. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this case is they were exploited, maybe offered some money or something, you know, that would convince them, hey, you know, meet up with me. And then, unfortunately, that was the end for them.
Let me go off your theory a little bit. So you saying Pam was told Patty, like, hey, like, let's skip school.
Recruit, yeah.
I got this older friend that, you know, you can get money from. They can help you out. Patty was like, she probably questioned a little bit. I'm thinking about her. She probably questioned, like, you know what? Forget it. Let's do it. Do you ever think they went on that road or they just went to the person's house or the person actually picked them up? Because I can see that Pam did go through a bad stage. She probably met some bad friends and she probably was still friends with them. We don't know. Like, sometimes it's hard to get away from your bad influence because they would keep coming back. You could say, like, hey, I am done with that lifestyle. Like, you know what, girl? Like, come on. Like, it's no big deal. Let's keep hanging out. Let's keep partying. But you know, like, it's not a good idea. I'm still with my hitchhiking idea. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like them heels. I'm stuck on them heels. But let us know, what do you think? What happened to these two teenage girls? And this is our last little Halloween episode before the big Halloween episode. And I'm so excited. And you will see our costumes. The guessing, you still give me your guess. I cannot wait to hear your guesses. You will probably see our costumes on the YouTube episode when it drop, But we will be posting pictures on our TikTok, Instagram, even our personal ones, because Halloween, it seemed like it's my daughter's favorite holiday. I mean, she only little, but I'm so tired of hearing trick or treat. But we are on all podcast platforms. We are on YouTube. We are on all social medias. Please give us a 5-star rating and comment, like, and subscribe. And tell your friends about us and tell their friends about us. If you have case suggestions, please email me. I cannot wait to hear what case you would like to hear from our beautiful voice. Thank you again. And don't forget, this is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.